Hey guys, I just wanted to show you a few things that I thought were interesting while I've been improving my cooking skills, and show you how I like to cook scrambled eggs the lazy man way. So a little while ago I took 2 pieces of bacon, I cut them up, threw them in my cast iron pan. Previously I've done a very good job of seasoning this cast iron pan, and if you guys want to try the cast iron pan to get away from the non-stick pans, you just have to do a good job of seasoning and not be afraid of using fat on here. You do need fat in your body to help produce some of your hormones. So don't be too terribly afraid. You don't want to overdo it, but you need some saturated fats. Now, you'll notice that I've got the bacon all chopped up there. It's been frying. It doesn't look like the dark bacon, crispy bacon that some of us like to look at. Oh, by the way, right now I'm cooking at 3 on the stove top. So I like to cook my bacon a little bit slower, especially when I'm going to be putting this in the eggs. Me being the nerd, I want to show you something with this. The stove top can get significantly hotter than your oven. I didn't know if many of you knew this, but I've got one of these non-touch thermometers, and see if we can see this. Right now the stove top is at 330-ish degrees, and that's a lot higher than a lot of people. And even though the bacon does not look crispy and dark, and if we hit one of those pieces of bacon, it's at 310 degrees, so it's well above that, 160. Anyway, I think the bacon's good enough and done. So we'll scoot this over to the side. I'm going to crack our eggs in here. I'll see if I can do this with one hand. I don't know if I can. You'll notice, or something that I noticed is, as I get better at cooking, the heavier surface you have to crack your eggs on, the easier it is to crack instead of like a light plastic bowl or something. We can try to do this like they do on TV, one-handed. Throw that egg in there. I was pretty proud of myself doing that one-handed. I like eggs. Oh, got some shell in there, so if I can't burn myself. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hurt ourselves doing that. And then the third egg. We'll let those sit for a moment. Ah, dagnabbit. You know what I forgot to do? Typically when I do this, usually enough grease in here, but I like to put about a tablespoon of butter in there. I'll put 2 tablespoons of butter in there if I'm not cooking the bacon. But I think we'll be alright. I seasoned this pan with some lard a few minutes ago, so we should be okay. You'll notice that these eggs have got, looks like I'm doing sunny side up. And I'm going to walk away from the stove and grab something. If I can find the drawer. I want to throw one of these pie cooling racks out here. Got egg yolk all over my hand. You'll see that my yolks are still kind of running, but cast iron pans are pretty thick. So we do not need to have this on there any longer. We don't need to overcook our eggs unless you really feel the need to. But even with that runny yolk, throw it in here and we'll start mixing it up. And you'll notice that the heat in the pan still holds on, even though it's no longer on the stove top. And keep us from overcooking the eggs by doing it this way. You notice I haven't added any salt to this yet. Try not to add salt too early in the process, because what happens is it'll pull water out of whatever you're cooking, and well, it'll pull water out of eggs. Sometimes you want, in certain things, you want to add salt ahead of time. But see, the eggs are cooked and they wouldn't even be sitting on the stove top. Shut that off. Anyway, and I'm going to put this on the plate. I'm going to finish mixing those bits of bacon in and put a little salt and pepper, and I'll be ready to go. So those are some tips maybe you can use to help you cook in your eggs if you want to do it a lazy way.